versus Vinicius Oliveira. You know what? Vinicius Vinicius Oliveira went through this phase where he seemed average, and then he started going on this three. No,
I
wait,
want to see.
no, no, no. Let Malume finish first. Um, he went on. He started going on this streak, much like Charles Oliveira. And recently, Vinicius has been looking pretty decent. He's looking really good in recent fights. Kyler Phillips lost to Rob Font. I mean, that's kind of, I wouldn't say embarrassing, but Rob Font at this point, you shouldn't, no one should be losing to Rob Font at this particular point in time. I know that Rob Font still looks pretty decent, but Kyler Phillips, am I right or am I wrong? No, no, you're making noise. Um, I think actually, let me just double check. But yeah, he lost to Rob Font, um, and that was kind of embarrassing. So let me actually double check his past record, and let's diagnose it a little bit. I feel like Vinicius Oliveira is a little bit better in my own personal opinion, to be honest. Um, at some point, I wouldn't have said this. I genuinely would have went with Kyler Phillips, but at this point, no, no, don't kick anything then. At this point, I feel like I don't know if Kyler Phillips should even be ranked, but I mean, okay, I wanted to compare him to Peyton Talbot, but I stopped myself from doing that. Let's see who Kyler Phillips has beat. I mean, unlike Peyton Talbot, Kyler Phillips has beaten Raoni Barcelos. I mean, and Raoni Barcelos has recently looked like, I'm not going to say he's going to make a run, but I mean his past two wins are Peyton Talbot and what do you call him? Uh, I forgot his name. The guy who going through a midlife crisis with tattoos on his eyes now at the age of, I don't know, nearing 40. Anyway, he beat Raoni Barcelos. He beat Pedro Munoz and lost to Rob Font. Rob Font is like 37 right now. So Kyler Phillips as a prospect losing to Rob Font is kind of disheartening to see. On the other hand, Vinicius Oliveira has looked incredible in his last couple of fights. He looks like a really decent prospect to look out for. He's flying under the radar, but I feel like he's a bit of a dark horse because I didn't expect much from him. Rene the coin tosser. Wow, I forgot Kyler schooled Barcelos. Yeah, man, and that win has aged really well. So it's kind of confusing, but it feels like maybe Kyler Phillips is probably going to do well if he doesn't gas out. Rene the coin tosser, that's a decent win. Yeah, I 100% agree. But on the other hand, when you look at Vinicius Oliveira's streak, he's performing insanely well. You know, he's beating Bernardo Sopage, not the greatest win, but still. He's beating Ricky Simone. He's beating what do you call him, Said Nomagomedov. That's impressive. That's impressive, man. Um, I would rate Vinicius Oliveira's wins over anything that Kyler Phillips has achieved at this point. I don't even know how Kyler Phillips is ranked above Vinicius Oliveira. But beating Ricky Simone and beating Said Nomagomedov for me is better than beating Raoni Barcelos and Pedro Munoz. And to be fair, Vinicius Oliveira is undefeated in the UFC so far. So I mean, I feel like Vinicius Oliveira should actually win this one. I'm obviously worried that the situation. No, 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 no. I'm obviously worried that the situation that occurred with what do you call him? Peyton Talbot might actually end up occurring again with Kyler Phillips coming back and looking more improved and actually making us ask ourselves how good Rob Font is. you know, um, so I'm a little bit worried about that, but I still feel like Vinicius Oliveira has been improving in his fights. I genuinely felt like the win over Ricky Simone was impressive, and it's aging really well. Ricky Simone like has gotten a win, so he's not completely washed, even though he doesn't look that great in hindsight. But let's get to the technical breakdown of the fight. As far as reach, Kyler Phillips is going to have a reach advantage in this particular fight. He's going to have a 2.5-inch reach advantage, if I'm not mistaken. Nope, 1.5-inch reach. Not a great, like, not a massive reach advantage. Vinicius Oliveira is the finisher here with 82% finishing rate, and Kyler Phillips at 58% finishing rate. So probably if Kyler Phillips wins this one, it's probably going to be via decision. If Vinicius Oliveira wins this one, it's probably going to be via finish. Or even decision, but I could see Vinicius actually getting a finish here. But it all depends on who. If Kyler Phillips shows the same way, if he shows up um, without cardio, he's going to be finished late. But if he shows up properly, it's probably going to be a close competitive fight. But I still feel like Vinicius Oliveira might have a bit of an edge to some extent, right? Striking. Um, Kyler Phillips might have a bit of an output advantage, but once again, for how long, right? He might have an output advantage up until a certain point, and then he's going to run out of gas. Um, but it's not a massive output advantage in this particular fight. Technical striking abilities, I think both of them are pretty decent, striking wise, but I think Vinicius Oliveira is a little bit better defensively, although both of them are pretty decent defensively. So on the feed is going to be very interesting to see how it plays out. I could see this one actually going to a decision unless somehow Kyler Phillips actually gasses out. Grappling wise, both of them are pretty decent defensively and offensively, but I think what do you call him? Kyler Phillips shoots a little bit more. Nana, please don't make noise. So I don't know how it plays out on the ground. Both of them have pretty decent takedown defense. Both of them are pretty decent offensively. Although Kyler Phillips will probably be shooting a little bit more for takedowns than Vinicius Oliveira. So this is going to be a very close fight, right? This is going to be a very close fight. I initially thought that I would say Vinicius gets a finish, but I don't know if Kyler Phillips comes in with a bit of cardio. I think it could be a very interesting fight. They're so very evenly matched. Even on the feed, both of them are I don't know. I mean, Kyler Phillips has the 1.5-inch reach advantage. It's not massive, but in a striking fight, when you combine that with the volume, the technical striking abilities. I mean, I think Kyler Phillips trains with what do you call him? Sean O'Malley. I think they come from the same camp, if I'm not mistaken. So because of that, it's going to give him. I think I don't want to say it's going to give him an advantage as far as striking, but it's going to make the striking exchanges very interesting. The grappling as well. However, it's going to come down to cardio, and obviously cardio goes to Vinicius Oliveira at this point. So it's going to be interesting to see how this one plays out. But my subscribers and I are going with Vinicius Oliveira. I could see a situation where Kyler Phillips just comes in and shows up and actually surprises all of us. But yeah, officially I'm going with Vinicius Oliveira. Let me respond to you guys. Um, let me see. Shoshat McGee, Kyler the quitter. Kyler is faster, but the Brazilian is tough and actually actually can wrestle, and that is rare. Nana, wait, I'm busy. Um, wait, Nana, Black Swordsman. Yo, what's your opinion on D-Rod Holland fight? I think D-Rod can win by decision. No, he's not gonna win. Kanya, you want to go in the house? Stop doing that. So kind of, you're making noise. So, so Black Swordsman. My opinion on that, I've already broken down that fight, but um, what do you call him? Kevin Holland is probably going to take that one. Shoshat McGee. Kyla wins. Kyla wins first round, and then gets bullied the last two rounds. um, the after our pod, I think Vinicius dominates. I guess we'll see. I'm not going to go as far as say, um, okay, wait a little bit. I have to go. My niece says she wants to be, but I responded to everyone. I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I love and appreciate all of you. Until then, deuces. Wear your shoes.